Lily, si vedeva la mia?
So, welcome to Aidda Kagi meeting. We are starting as of now. The Dfds Youth Med is, as you know, bringing Turkish and Italian women entrepreneurs together to relaunch economy after the pandemic. So I would like to invite the President of International FCEM, Marie-Christine Ogli, for her opening speech. Marie-Christine, floor is yours.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me. When we discussed about the physical meeting, which was planned in Trieste, I was very happy to join, but unfortunately this bloody virus came and we are all stuck in our own countries. And but I want to support your initiative to have contact between two countries. It's something that I'm pushing quite a lot, because FCEM is bringing together all countries, but it's also important that you can have some bilateral meetings, events, or relations, which is helping all the women entrepreneurs and to develop their business and to grow their business. Because the aim of our association is not only to do lobbying, networking, but it's also to develop, to grow the business. Just before the lockdown, we were working on starting some kind of training online. And it's something which has been developed by all countries. And I asked all the presidents to tell me what they done during the lockdown for their members. And all of them were doing webinars, interviews, radios, and so on. It's exactly what we were planning to do for FCEM. But having said that, we cannot do the same as you do in a country, because I was discussing with the French president. We've done a lot of things in France, but it's something which is dedicated to the French measures which has been set in place by our own government. And they are all different from one country to another country. Even the lockdown was more or less closer to different countries as well. So it's why it was difficult for SCEM to set up webinars, because it could not fit to everyone. And as each country was doing webinars more dedicated to their members, it would have been also maybe too much. But you can be sure that we will start to do some webinars after, certainly after the next Congress, because we need some time to provide everything. We cancelled the President's Committee in Mauritius, and it will be postponed to next year. For the time being, we decided to maintain the Congress in Istanbul. We will make a survey by end of June, make sure that all presidents are still intending to join. And also, it's for Claudia, on the 27th of June, and calls are coming today, will be launched today. We will have a virtual president meeting, president committee. So I just want to tell you how great is your initiative, and I totally support it. And for Italian from Friuli and Venetian region, I will be in September for my company in Trieste. I will be very happy to meet you. It will be in September.
We are waiting you.
Okay, hopefully we will be able to meet in person.
Yes.
Thank you, Marie-Christine, for the good wishes. And French government is doing a good job. My daughter is going to a French school, and she has a Zoom class upstairs as of we speak now.
Yes.
So I would like to invite Kagidar President Emine Erdem for her opening speech as well. Emine Hanım, floor is yours.
Thank you, dear Özlem. Dear Marie-Christine, President of FCM, dear Marie-Claudia, President of Aidda, dear Antonella, Lili, Tijan, Pınar, Ornella, Elisabetta, Feyhan, Özlem, and dear friends at Kagidar and Aidda. Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you, your families, your beloved ones are all safe and healthy. And the world is passing through really hard time. It is as if we found ourselves in the set of a science fiction movie these days. And we have seen days that we would never have imagined. And now, after around for Turkey, 75 days, we are adapting ourselves to the new world order, to the new normal. But please, I know women get stronger in times of crisis, and I believe this new normal will bring new opportunities for us, like today. This morning is a new excitement for us. Our Vice President will share more information about us, but briefly, Kagi is a non-governmental organization aimed at supporting women entrepreneurs. We have made our mission to support women entrepreneurship because we believe women entrepreneurs have a strong impact on reversing the trends of gender inequality and women's economic exclusion. We are the most influential women business association in Turkey with almost 400 members. Our members are all women business owners, generating a total of around 62 billion US dollars annual turnover, which is almost 8% of Turkey's economy, and they offer job opportunities to around 250,000 people. In Turkey, when Kagi was established in 2002, women entrepreneurship rate was only 4%. Today, it is almost 11%. We know that there is a long way to go, but there is an upward trend in terms of women's entrepreneurial activity. This is not only for Turkey, this is a global trend. At Kagi, we strongly believe in the vital importance of adopting a global perspective on women's entrepreneurship and leadership initiatives. Hence, we have close relations and partners with several international and global organizations, such as the European Union, United Nations, UN Women, UNDP, ITC, and World Bank, EBRD, OECD, ILO, and many others who are crucial actors in the world of political and economic agenda. In 2015, Kagi has undertaken the presidency role of the Women 20, W20, the official engagement group of G20. Also, we have founded the Women Entrepreneurs Platform Web in Europe together with our peers in EU. We have the consultative status at the United Nations Economic and Social Council since 2011, and every year we present one of our projects during UNCSW meetings. And I am proud to say that we are a member of FCM, Femmes Chefs d'Entreprise Mondiale. Dear friends, women remain strongly underrepresented in international trade. According to a research done by International Trade Center, ITC, only 1 out of 5 export businesses are led by women. In Turkey, only 7% of exporters are women. The same research shows that export-focused small businesses tend to be more successful and that women tend to invest up to 90% of their income in their children's health and education. Therefore, helping women entrepreneurs build their export capabilities has the potential to reduce international cycles of poverty. We have to ensure that more opportunities for women in trade are created. In this respect, we have partnered with ITC, International Trade Center, and hosted Women Vendors Forum in Istanbul in 2017. We hosted 40 women businesses owners from 48 countries, and a trade volume of 10 million US dollars was generated through the B2B meetings during the forum. And to grow their business potential and trade, women business owners need to network and interact with each other more often. And this morning, we are very excited to start this journey with Aidda members. Today, we are meeting virtually, but soon the members of the two organizations will be coming together. As Marie-Christine has shared, next FCM World Congress will be in Istanbul, crossing our fingers that everything will be safe and secure. Personally, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you all to Istanbul in November for the 68th World Women Congress of FCM. We are expecting to see you all in Turkey. Before concluding my words, I would like to thank Aidda board and members, Kagi board and our members for being here today with us, and Dfds Logistics for their belief in and support to women entrepreneurs and hosting today's webinar within Dfds Akademi. And dear Marie-Christine, it is an honor for us to have you here this morning. Very welcome. This is just a start of new cooperation between two FCM members, and today will be a new start for a powerful business relations among Aidda and Kagi members. Thank you so much. And affettuosissimi saluti del Kagi a tutti cari membri del Aidda. Buona giornata. Ciao.
Emine Hanım, thank you for your kind words. I hope this initiative will increase the 7% of women entrepreneurs, exporters of Turkish economy.
We believe.
On that note, I would like to invite Aidda National President, Maria Claudia Torlesco Bastilli, for her speech.
Unmute, you have to unmute.
I think Maria is on mute.
Yeah, she is now unmuting.
Sorry. Good morning to our friends. Thank you for inviting us in this beautiful meeting. I am Maria Claudia Torlasco, President of Aidda. I hope to come in Istanbul in November for Congress, FCM Congress. COVID, if COVID permit this. I am, I remember Aidda was founded in Italy in 1961. In this day, we have turned 59 years, and we hope next year to be able to organize a nice event for 60 years of Aidda. I hope you came in Torino, la culla di Aidda. With pleasure, we keep the relationship with Kagi. Aidda and Kagi collaborated in a Europe-founded project entitled Women in Management in Istanbul in June 2015. Speaker in various seminars for Aidda was Evelina Pensa, my friend Evelina. Women in Management was born to build the dialogue within Italian and Turkish civil society organization. There was also an Erasmus project linked with environment for the exchange of good practices in workplace environmental protection policies. About this experience, Evelina was invited to participate at the first edition of W20 in Istanbul in October 2015. And the final communique was presented at the G20 in Antalya in November. Was a very important meeting for us and for you. I'm pleased now to introduce our dear members who will be talking about Aidda's activity in the COVID period. Antonella, National Vice President, Lilly, President of Region of Friuli Venezia Giulia, Ornella, President of Sicily, and Elisabetta, Board Member of Aidda. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Masteli, for your kind words. Now, I would like to invite Lili Samer for short information about Aidda's activities during the COVID periods in Friuli Venezia Giulia delegation.
Let me say good morning, günaydın. Let me first thank Lars Hoffman, head of Dfds Business Mediterranean Unit, for hosting us. Let me thank our old friend, Fuad Pomutku, Vice President of Business Development of Dfds. And let me thank our new friends, Özlem and Gizem, holding us and helping us to organize this meeting. So, Aidda is the first Italian association established with the specific aim to promote and support female entrepreneurship and managers and some professionals as well. It is the most important reference point for women holding leadership role in the Italian economical system, providing them with a network of excellence. As said by Claudia, we have been founded in 1961 in Turin. And the first conference held in that year, it was the development of evolution of women covering management roles. You must think of Italy of 1960, how it was. We are 800 members, entrepreneurs. We count about 200,000 employees, and we are just mapping ourselves in terms of turnover. We have 14 regional delegations. We are part of SDM network. Our sector represented almost all, mostly manufacturing industries, services, agriculture, trade, some professionals. The scope of Aidda's Born is to promote and strengthen the spirit of the association amongst women in leadership positions, highlight the awareness of the ethical and cultural values whilst implement economy and the social political role of female entrepreneurship, support a significant presence of women in decision-making roles with public and private bodies, work and lobby as a proactive partner to the relevant institution, implement EU project program at regional and international level. We are also part of the Women 20, W20, which is part of G20. We're not going to tell you what it is because you are too. Aidda is the female entrepreneurship presence in all committees of Italian Chamber of Commerce, as is in the Italian National Equal Opportunities Committee at the Ministry of Labor, as also in the regional government ministries. During the COVID, so what we did, after the shock, my mood was changing every day. Personal problem for everybody. Somebody was completely locked, somebody was working half, somebody work even more than before. But Aidda, thanks to the National Committee, decided to make up 4 tables. Web table, of course. That was the manufacturing industry table, agriculture, building, and tourism. Today, we are going to hear the outcome of the tourism table, declinated by Ornella Lenieri, who was the leader of the table, by Antonella Giacchetti, who was the economy responsible for the table of tourism, and Elisabetta Cividin, who is going to read the outcome, the flyer outcome, which is one part of the job, which is closed. Other parts are still oncoming. let me remember one thing. FCM and Kagi wrote an agreement, a memorandum in February 2006 in Istanbul, by which Kagi became member of FCM. In this memorandum, it has been a great role also by an Italian ladies, which is Marchesa Carignani di Novoli, which at those time was in charge on FCM, and so it be followed. So, and she is member of Friuli Venezia Giulia delegation, a part of a national honorary president. So thank you to everybody for being here, and teşekkür.
Thank you, Lily,
Yeah,
Samer, for your kind words. I would like to remind our participants, if you write any comments, I can share with our panelists because we have very important ladies together with us. And I would like to invite Tijan Mergen, Kagider Vice President, to give her brief info about Kagider's activities during the COVID days and Kagider. Tijan Hanım. Okay.
Thank you, Özlem. Dear presidents, dear Kagider friends and Aidda friends, it's so excited to be here with you. And I'm sure it will help developing businesses after all these troubles together. I'm so happy also with you, with the Italian people, because it is my lovely country. The food, the sea, the wine, everything is the people, art, really lovely. I was in the west coast of Italy, Santo Stefano of Sesiano, you know, the west coast of Italy, which I was sailing last year. I hope after all these pandemic lockdowns and restrictions, I will come again to Italy. As our president said before, the entrepreneurship rate of women is very, very low. And also, if you look at the economy, the labor cost, unfortunately, women's participation is low there. So Kagider had a target saying that more than 3 million of women will participate in economy. And 50,000 more women entrepreneurs will be in the business by 2025, which is also the target of W20 and G20 commitments. I think we are also participating together to policy recommendations roundtable with Italy. We are the group member in G20, the W20 studies and preparations. Recently, I'd like to mention about an initiative we created, the Women Entrepreneurship Index research we established, we conducted last year. And interestingly, 60% of women entrepreneurs in Turkey is university graduates, and 75% of them live in metropolitans. This means that entrepreneurship is not because of the need for money. It is the result of ideas, because the result of also this research says that 70% of businesses of women entrepreneurs is because they see the opportunity. It is not because they really demand money, they need money. Only 31% of the startups is necessary to learn money. And unfortunately, maybe the worst part of the research was only 4% of women reaches necessary amount of money at the beginning, seed money. Usually they take money from the families and start the business. And unfortunately, because this is also a global result, only 6.2% of women entrepreneurs stayed alive after 4 years. This is the situation. So the main problem out of this research also is the reach for finance. We all know all these obstacles, all these dilemmas, and there are many of them, like lack of data, lack of finance, lack of education, lack of insufficient state policies, lack of networking, hindrances of cultural codes, lack of role models. These are all obstacles. And as Kagider, we try to, since 2020, it's almost 20 years, try to solve these, at least address these problems, these obstacles with some projects. And I just would like to give a couple of projects we might have joint business together in the future. One of them is Women of Trade portal. This is a European community funding project. And the portal is a source of networking, which allows the women entrepreneurs who are registered in the portal communicate with each other and trade with each other. And also it is a good opportunity to get some inspiration, to share some success stories so that the others could be inspired. And portal also gives access to information, data, and some training materials. Another project is with Bank of America and Boyner Group. We call this İşler, which means that good business program, which is a scale-up and capacity building program, and for women suppliers in retail business. So this is more on the suppliers, entrepreneurs in retail business, and we just take these women to an intensive training for 8 weeks. And after the training program, participants meet with the buyers and they start e-commerce. And we did the same with Sephora for the cosmetic entrepreneurs. So hoping to enlarge the business to other sectors as well. Also, we have an education YouTube portal, which is Kagider Compass. This is like 5 to 7 or 8 minutes short videos at the YouTube channel. And there are lots of information, lots of materials which the entrepreneurs need, like on marketing, like on some law businesses, some financial issues, some technology issues. So there are many YouTube videos from experts. Another project is, in fact, this is since 2006, we encourage women to increase role models and we are organizing Women Entrepreneurs of the Year contest. And up until now, we have received 40,000 participants. This is really huge. I mean, if you think of almost more than 10 years. Mm-hmm. Also, some local projects, we are also participating to some global initiatives to aim. Our aim is really increase women's access to market and networks, such as Women Vendors Exhibition organized by International Trade Center, She Trades and regional B2B meetings. We are targeting to reach to 10,000 women through our Women Exporters program, supported by UPS. As a last maybe comment, this year we organized on 4 strategies. Trade, we call it 4T because the Turkish name starts with T. Trade, community, which is toplum, agriculture, which is tarım, and technology. So trade and society was our initiatives. I mean, it were our main initiatives since the beginning, since 2002. But this year especially, we targeted technology and agriculture really to give enough importance on it. And technology, we started to conduct tech talks, which are educational seminars for 2 hours. And of course, with the pandemic, we start doing it each and every Tuesday. And technology helped us really to increase our communication with our members, especially in the difficult days. And trade, agriculture is also one of the main major issues maybe after the pandemic. It is an increasing trend, and there are many women really interested in agricultural business, so we are trying to help them. We arranged just before pandemic, it was I think end of February, we organized a camp, and there more than 100 agricultural entrepreneurs attended, and we gave them some trainings. Now we selected 20 of them, and we are giving some trainings. We are giving mentoring services, and trying to help them to build the firms structure properly. So this is, in summary, what we are doing. We are so happy to meet with you and hoping that we will increase our businesses all together with this initiative. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was a summary. I mean, Kagi has her hands full, I can see, and you will have a project with us added to this soon, I believe, to help women entrepreneurs export better. Well, I would like to invite Pınar Akalın now, Kagi board member, to share her business experience with us during the COVID days. She is the founder of Saint Tomer. Pınar Hanım, floor is yours.
Thank you, Özlem Hanım. Buongiorno a tutte le imprenditrici italiane. Bonjour Madame la Présidente. Günaydın tekrar başkanım ve sevgili Kagiderli dostlarım ve ev sahibimiz Dfds. I've been to Italy once when I was a teenager with my parents, and then went back in 2005 for our honeymoon to Rome. It was fabulous. So we love Italy, and I hope to come back at some point. I've been with Kagi since 2011 and made a great entry, really, with the Woman Entrepreneur Contest at the year. I was awarded as the Promising Woman Entrepreneur of Turkey. And ever since, working quite hard for that promise, and also on the board this year. Truly delighted to be joining you this morning. So I'm a scientific entrepreneur and own a biotechnology company in Istanbul. We manufacture synthetic DNA products and molecular diagnostic tests. These are for both health and food safety. As we all experience this unprecedented challenge of COVID-19, we all realize that we as humans really are not separate at all from the world around us. What happens in your neighborhood affects us, and vice versa. And we also, as scientists, realized once again how dependent we are on each other. So you may have a 15,000 euro worth of PCR machine in your lab, but if you've been importing that €1 worth of swab to take a nasopharyngeal sample, and you can't reach that during, like what happened during the pandemic, you just can't do the testing. So we really need each other, we affect each other, and unfortunately, we infect each other. My heartfelt sympathies to Italy. You experienced this nightmare 10 times worse than us, we all know. But luckily, the cases are dropping significantly down, last I checked. And I sure hope it comes to an end really soon. What we as Centromere DNA Technologies did as COVID-19 started to spread around the world, and World Health Organization published the guidelines for testing. We immediately synthesized the primers and probes, which are the DNA fragments, which is our business, and they go into the testing kits. We immediately synthesized them and announced them through LinkedIn for our lab customers, so that if anyone would like to prepare the testing, they can do so. And that was back in the end of January, really soon. And we didn't see any cases in Turkey yet. It came late. So after, I think it was mid-March, when it was really a hot time, we received getting calls from all around the world. It was pouring. I mean, we were getting tens of calls every day, requesting the kits for testing, the PCR kits. And we didn't have it at that time because we just, we thought, there were larger firms that would go ahead and do that. But then as all these inquiries pouring in, we've developed our own kit as well. And then we started selling. And we did a couple of exports to African countries. Then we received some inquiries from Europe as well, mainly from France and UK, but we couldn't sell because the requirements of EU, we needed to have a partner in Europe, aside from all the, CE marking and all. We had all those, but we didn't have a partner in Europe. So this meeting and this collaboration platform is really exciting for us, for me. I hope to develop some partnerships and provide some products to Europe as well. And now what our next project is, so we had the laboratory testing, the PCR test kits at the moment. We are starting manufacturing the rapid tests as well, the little tests that are like pregnancy tests, the ones that you can do on your own at home. So we are working really hard. We never stopped during the pandemic when everyone was at home and doing all kinds of training and attending the seminars. We were in the lab. I'm not sure if I should say unfortunately or luckily, but as I believe Lily said at the beginning, some people worked harder and we were among them. We really worked hard. So I look forward to actually getting into some collaborations and contributing to projects and joint projects with Aidda members and Kagi. Thank you for this opportunity, and I wish you all a great and safe time in the days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Pınar Akalın. Thank you for sharing your business experience. And now we will talk about tourism. I would like to invite Ornella Laneri from Aidda, Sicily. She is the president, I believe, of Sicily delegation. She would like to share her renaissance of sustainable tourism strategies. I think, Ms. Laneri, you have a presentation to share with us.
I do. Good morning. First of all, günaydın and teşekkür ederim. Is that correct? Just I want to ask you. My brother is an archaeologist and is an archaeologist in Turkey. So he told me these two words. First of all, thank you for inviting us. Yes, I'd like to tell you what happened. What happened after we realized that an emotional and economical tsunami was happening in Italy, especially for tourism. As tourism do not sell items, we sell rooms. So an unsold room is just a lost room to be sold. Okay, so let me share the screen. Excuse me, just I'll be there in a second. Okay. Oh, there we are. Yes. Excuse me. I got it. It should be it. Okay. Okay, perfect. Tell me if you can see it, please. Can you see it? Oh, can you see the screen, the presentation?
Yes, half of it.
Half
We
of
don't have it full page.
Okay, let
There
me-
are a couple of pages.
Yeah.
let
But yeah,
excuse me. Okay.
you have to enlarge it.
Just open the presentation, please,
Yeah.
Okay.
so we can see. Just
Can you
click
see-
on the
okay,
presentation.
got the presentation. There we are. Okay. Can you see it now?
Same.
Same.
Same.
Okay. Okay. So Aidda for tourism. We are. Okay. So we are. What happened on April 10th? Myself and another member of Aidda, of National Aidda, met in a phone call and realized that something had to be done. We had to meet as many entrepreneurs in tourism to get together and trying to not only understand what was happening, but what we could do to help each other to react. So it is a spontaneous newborn group. We are more than 70 in Aidda. There are about 800 members, so we are almost 10% of those, and we are distributed through all over Italy, which is pretty long, so it is usually difficult to get really physically together. What happened was reacting with a great cohesion, and this allowed all of us to meet institution and to project for a new normal era. So what we did immediately is realizing that we were needing to get to have 3 different, let's say, task forces, and also to have webinar for meeting institution and to transfer all our needs and our reactions to what the government was doing. And also to have a great networking, okay? I will tell you all of them. So the task force, the newborn task forces were about economy. Antonella will talk to you about the economy task force, marketing, and Elisabetta will tell you what happened with marketing, and security and procedures. Why? Because first problem was about what can we do when we will have to reopen. We had no guidelines from the government. We still have no guidelines in some sectors. Oh, okay, so the work with economy, the first thing we did was a webinar with the Undersecretary for Cultural Heritage and Tourism, Lorenza Bonacorsi. The task force from economy prepared a document that she would talk, Antonella will talk to you about, and we discussed about that. And after the meeting, we decided that we were gonna send this document and asked to be part of one of their tables. Marketing was really productive. They are a volcano. And so they worked on two things very, very important. One was the implementation of the presentation of our members in the touristic area, which is very, very important for us, mostly after the COVID would be finished. They also realized a real product. The name is Women Destination for Italy, a project that will be allowed, that will allow only Aidda members to be part of, but Elisabetta will tell you more about that. So let's go to other things. Procedures and security. I was the coordinator of this task force. This task force was not that big, from 10 to 12 people per task force. So what we did is creating a networking with other members who produce the PPE and products for sanitation, for the reopening, getting together and working together. It's very, very, all of us, all of you thought about that. So what else? The webinars. Webinars were very important and will be, as we can see today, as very important for the future. So we, as I told you, we had one with Lorenzo Bonacorsi. Then we had another one, which was very important for us too. Giorgio Palmucci is the president of the Italian Organization for Tourism. And that was very important because he accepted us to be part of a protocol that we are going to sign to share, as we said, our idea of sustainable tourism. Then we had some webinars about the problems with the new government guidelines and employees' relationships that I think you will too have. And now we have several webinars coming. One is with you, and that's really great, and thank you again. And we will have another, and then we will go talking about MICE, about events, because all of our associates, members, are distributed in all different areas of tourism and entrepreneur. We are congress organizers, hotelier, agritourism, event organizers, tour operators. So it's very, very important that we focus on all these problems. So Marina Lawley, she's president of Federturismo. Federturismo is the section of Confindustria dedicated to MICE events and conferences. So we will meet her and we will talk more and more about economy, of course. These are some proposals that we sent to the Undersecretary and to President Palmucci. As you can see, so one very interesting is it came from Veneto. So the president suggested that we can ask a tax credit for all companies who apply a tourist welfare reserved to their employees and customers. What does that mean? That means that instead of sending my employees to France or to Germany, or just to giving them some prizes, different prizes, I will pay a vacation to them. Paying this vacation will allow me to send money to the hotel, because what the hotels need is cash flow, of course, as all companies, and having a tax credit at the end of the year. So that's very, very important. We're bringing this to the Bonacorsi also with the help of President Palmucci. So that's something very important that we're doing. And then last but not least, but not last, Slow Food and Aidda. What happened is that we had the chance to get in touch with the president, the Italian president of Slow Food, Mr. Petrini, Carlin Petrini, and we signed an agreement that our president, Claudia Torlasco, signed an agreement because we want to start back from the art. We all, our Italian entrepreneurs in tourism, have a great attention in sustainability, absolutely great. So what we did is signing this proposal, this petition to the Prime Minister that proposes to recognize a credit tax to all those companies who buy from small scale food producers. That's very, very important for us. So, and this is giving us really a great impact on the territory. So that's us, that's what we did, and a lot of things we're doing, and we're really happy that we could share this with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Laneri. Let's continue with the Italian example. Let's talk a bit about the learnings of Aidda Tourism Table. Maybe Kagi can get some ideas from Aidda's experience. I would like to invite Antonella Giachetti. She is the Vice President of National Aidda.
Thank you. Hello, Daddies. Good morning. I am very happy to be here this morning, both as Vice President National, Aidda National, and W20 Delegate for Financial Inclusion. Welcome, Kagi, President, Vice President, and Associates. Please, I now present my work. And just now, please forgive me, I will have to leave this meeting around 11 and 10. Mm-hmm. Oh, allora, vediamo. A moment, please. Okay. Qui. Okay. So, it's good? Yes. Okay. Oh, a moment. The Aidda table dedicated to economic and financial aspects has as its primary object that of becoming an active liaison between the tourist industry and the Ministry of Tourism. It has therefore highlighted how the heart of Italy's socio-economic heritage, made above all by small and medium-sized enterprises, is at risk of dissolution. Oh, sorry. It has furthermore highlighted that such valuable assets represent an enormous goodwill of resources, know-how, and organization. Without coordinated and comprehensive economic policies and support measures, these small and medium-sized enterprises could actually disappear while leaving room for foreign investment of global dimension that bring their profit elsewhere. It is impossible to make reliable prediction on when will people start traveling again and how will the various leisure activities have to adapt to ever-changing conditions. This great uncertainty significantly impacts business decisions. Can we count on the usual number of visitors? We will have to focus on the quality of the offer instead, and it could be considered an opportunity. Excuse me, because okay. In fact, we still believe that our territories, our country, as well as Europe, have an important task, that of transforming this unexpected catastrophe in an opportunity to restart a new and different system, capable of selecting and rejecting all bitter fruits that the current system has brought us to date, generating environmental, social, economic, and financial damage. Being a women organization, Aidda strongly believes that fostering policies that support and encourage development of small local businesses managed by local people is of paramount importance towards developing and enhancing women's business and women's autonomy towards financial and social inclusion. Aidda's action plan of economic table. We asked immediate intervention. We requested simple, clear, and transparent rules We asked for certainties and territorial uniformity in the enunciation of the reopening rules, and a particular attention to security measures for mountain and coastal territories in order not to definitely jeopardize the approaching summer season by making entire territories inaccessible, hence impoverishing them. Public Intervention Fund. We asked for Public Intervention Fund, we asked the Italian state to provide businesses, if necessary through banks or specialized public entities, with irredeemable loans or equity intervention. For example, immediate tax incentives, the elimination of all local taxes for the year 2020, the provision of transferable tax credits for investment in technology or eco-sustainable plans, and the recognition of a 100% tax credit for all expenses incurred for the safety of business structures. We strongly believe that each instrument should be put in place and based on simple, transparent, and automatic mechanisms. Argument 3, strategic political direction of the tourism industry. We requested to enable developing slow travel, a new form of tourism of longer duration and higher quality, which would contribute to establishing a set of proposals that bring together the wide variety of culture and natural heritage sites that our country offers. The art, the museum, the historical gardens of Italy, the culinary traditions should bring about green itineraries, not only at local but also at regional level. This would allow a significant and substantial development of all the local accommodation and service activities. This new slow travel model would entail of art cities and territories that have been exclusively devoted to tourist fast consumption. The residents should be motivated to go back to the historic center, and the shops necessary for neighborhood life would be restored. Traditional craft workshop would be able to reclaim the historical role. Oh, sorry. Ci siamo persi. Sorry. Oh. The tourist itineraries of museum, monuments, farm, and wineries, but also cultural events, music, theater, and so on, should tend to extend beyond the city center to the whole neighboring territory, often full of equality, fascinating opportunities. A reduction in the number of fast tourism presences and an increase in equality can represent a significant advantage for social, environmental, and entrepreneurial development if we consider the high cost and low revenues of the so-called hit-and-run tourism. Thank you very much for the opportunity to stay here.
Okay, thank you so much for the interesting arguments. Can tourism bring back the trust we lost during the COVID days? As a consumer, that is the question to be asked. But we will continue with some more interesting projects of Aidda. I would like to invite Elisabetta Cividen, board member and secretary of Aidda Friuli Venezia Giulia delegation. She will share her project with us. What is the Women Destination Project developed by Aidda Tourism Marketing Team?
Good morning, everyone. I am an entrepreneur in tourism and a building company. Today, for me, it's a pleasure to participate and share with you a new beginning. The deep changes in the tourism world created new challenges for the hospitality. We have to answer with a new and different.
Sound.
There's a problem with the voice.
Team of Aidda Tourism.
Ho messo quella continua. One moment. Ecco, Adriano, non so di niente.
What is Women Destination? The project generates from an extended and crosswise team of business women and professionals connected to tourism and hospitality, conceived and created by the Aidda tourism marketing team. Their business activities constitute the basis of a series of travel proposals developed along various motivations.
We have a problem with the voice, I think.
Of excellence in two ways.
Back.
It is qualifying for the company, which earns prestige and recognition. And at the same time, it is a seal of quality for the guest as conceived by women. Women-oriented communication in tourism. Women are the true decision maker in all travel projects, deciding on itineraries and schedule. Women are the reliable marker of the quality of life. Women Destination speaks to them, making the most of their thoughts. Our added value. Our challenge is to
Okay. We have a connection problem. It seems it's.
Women Destination thus wants to become an influential voice in the Italian tourism scene. The good taste, style, organizational capacity, and vision of women contribute to the growth and the competitivity of tourist facilities and those of the entire economic and cultural growth of the nation. Payoff. Every vacation with us will turn into an unforgettable, rich and rewarding experience. Experience Italy with unforgettable women touch. When women team up, they can go anywhere. Thank you.
Okay. Women Destination is an interesting project. Please do share with us the presentation, as the voice was a bit, internet connection was bad. But I would like to invite Beyhan Kapralı from Kagi to share with us and the experience of the Turkey side with the tourism sector. Beyhan, please do share with us your experiences.
Thank you. Thank you, Özlem Hanım, and good morning, everyone. Good morning, our president, members of Aidda and Kagi, and my colleagues in the travel industry. Thank you very much for your presentations. I did have some insights from what you have done at Aidda, which I hope we will also be discussing in our association. Kagi is a bit differently structured than Aidda. Instead of sectors, we base our strategy groups on areas, such as like I am the leader for the international relationships strategy group. There is a technology group. There is the education and mentorship group, or infrastructure group, private sector group. But what I'm here actually with my two hats. One is the board member of being the board member of Kagi. The other one is my, of course, travel industry hat, and I have been in travel industry since 1987. Leading a travel agency or a DMC, mostly doing cultural tours inbound into Turkey, historical tours, individuals, FITs, groups, special interest groups, and incentives and meetings. I'm also very much involved with two associations, international, local Turkish chapters of two associations. Maybe you might know them. One is MPI, Meeting Planners International, and the chapter president, and also SITE, Society of Incentive Travel Executives. The reason why I'm telling you all of this, instead, we actually, after pandemic, are trying to get together with all these associations and focus on some of the items that you have mentioned, and to sort of have a pressure group on the government on some of the issues that we need to be solved. From what I see, actually, I'm very happy to see that, and I have been into different webinars with my clients, with different opinion leaders in the industry, and what I actually am very happy to observe is that despite all the negativism that we're going through this pandemic, all of us are positive, and we believe that travel is going to be back. I also have this feedback from my clients, so which is a good indication, but of course we do not know when it is going to be back. I also think that, you know, we should not be too romantic and too optimistic about it. There are the real life situations. In my office, we have made plans A, B, and C, and what we have done is probably is expecting kind of a start for international travel, by the way. I know that domestic travel will start first. By March 2021, slowly with individual and group travel. For events, MICE, conferences, congresses, maybe it will be another year. What we have discussed in our industry is with our associations plus some other associations, because we have a huge industry, all of us. The travel industry is quite a powerful industry, and we sometimes do not recognize it, or our governments do not recognize it. It's not only the hotels, the restaurants, the DMCs, it's like, you know, the AV people, the decor, the entertainment, the agricultural people. So we have a multiplier effect. So we're trying to join together as the industry. At least we started now discussing and coming into some grounds to have the general requirements, requests, wishes from our state. And at that point, actually, our initial requests and requirements has been, of course, financial. This is going to be a long process. In Turkey, we have been in and out of crisis, especially our industry. We were just coming out of our crisis, the last one, which was, again, has badly affected our industry. Because of these, security issues, etc. I will not go into details. And we all of a sudden we found ourselves in the middle of this pandemic, which is something very different, something unique for all of us, and we are in it globally, which is the first time. And this is the first time that I also have a corporate department. I issue tickets. This is the first time that we have seen everything stopped. I mean, no invoices coming in, no invoices going out. We always had a couple of small business, local business. So this is going to be a long process, and it's also is such a process that the health issue is very critical. Everybody was very scared in Turkey in the beginning. All my employees, I have about 40 people in my office, so we had to make them comfortable, motivate them, and give them plans, which we did. Of course, we did not reduce anyone, because at this point it really is very hard and hurtful to do that, because there are no options otherwise. But we had our plans, and still, the industry, and as you have mentioned, we have a lot of SMEs in the industry need support. and financial support from our governments. So at that point, we had some requirements, requests, etc., which we sent through our travel industry associations, but Kagi also, and my position in the Kagi also came into picture in that phase, where because we're always asked at Kagi that it's a very powerful association as our opinions, our research and studies. So at that point, we gave our requirements to our president, and she delivered them to the Ministry of Family and Social Affairs, Ministry of Finance, and hopefully they all go to the president in Turkey. So, we did receive some sort of subsidies in the travel industry from the government. What we had was the postponement of social security payment on employees and tax payment on employment for 3 months, 3 months of suspension, and we're going to pay it in 6 months' time, but that might be revised. Everything at the moment is to be decided, to be revised according to the developments. And we also had this, it's not part-time, but it's called short-term work subsidy. If we prove that we had whatsoever no business, and which we can prove, the government will pay a certain amount of the salaries of our employees. It's based on a bit of a higher rate than the minimum wage, but it's a big help for most of the companies, the hotels, and people who use a lot of low-level people. So it was a big help. And yesterday, this procedure was postponed for 3 months. But we still have our demands, requirements, because as this is going to be a longer period, I think we would need more subsidies as the industry, especially some of us. But also what I see important, and I have seen it in your presentations as well, that will be the coming trends. Strategic partnerships will be important between countries, between inside the industry, especially for those SMEs, small businesses, or business partners. It will be very good to have alliances, partnerships, so that we survive through this all together. What will also be important is we have to realize that we are here, we're in this all together. So it will be like, we have to open our borders together. Otherwise, it will not work. If we open our borders, and if you do not, there will be nobody. And we import the disease to each other. Everybody is talking about digitalization and technology, which is true. Oops. We learned about it. Of course, now we're doing these Zooms, and everybody will have, I don't know how, if all meetings will be virtual. I believe not. Maybe it will start with virtual hybrid meetings, but people, our industry is such that we need the social contact, we need the interaction, we have to see people, we have to feel us, we have to smell each other. So at one point, we will have maybe hybrid models, maybe hub meetings and that style. As you've said, people, when we were all at homes, like for 2 months or 3 months, I think we taught a lot. We came back to our internal feelings, and everybody got their lessons from this COVID. And I hope we will keep these lessons. You were right. I think we were consuming everything too much, polluting our environment, and travel industry has its share in this. So I also see a trend of a new way of traveling, where it will be more quality travel, more cultural travel. Yes, I think it will be longer stays in destinations. It will be more concern and care for the ecology, for women, for the social environment. And I'm very excited about this, because it really takes me back to the days that when I started working in the industry. So it will be like, we will be including all our destinations, yours as well, and Turkey. We have so much else to offer than the big cities and the usual ones. So we might go into farms, we might support the women-led businesses. So it will be a good and positive program and approach once we are over with this COVID. And of course, this will be a help for us introducing our destinations, and finally, of course, what we have to do is to ensure the trust and the confidence of our clients or potential clients. That's very important. People are very scared. Turkey is doing quite well on this sense. Our Ministry of Tourism, he comes from the industry as well, has this aggressive certification program that he has planned for hotels and restaurants, and he is taking the private sector's opinions on that. He also has, we're also working with the certification program with some international institutions, which is good, so that it will be valid. And it will not only be, and it's not compulsory. Hotels who or restaurants who are willing to have it will have it, and they have to earn it. They have to do the right procedures, and it will be inspected, which also is very important. It will be inspected monthly by maybe secret client basis, and so that's we also have our now rules and procedures for transfer, transportation, airports, airlines, guides, our staff, our personnel. We're quite an experienced destination, and we have been going through crisis, and we know how to manage the crisis management. And from all what I do within the industry, I know that they're taking it very seriously. But what is also is very important at this era is to be very transparent and honest about everything that we do. And we will do that, and I will also try to spread this knowledge, because whenever we are all ready, we should be opening and welcoming our guests. Otherwise, we will all be spreading the COVID again. I think we had our lessons, but I think it will be good times will come when we pass through this time.
Thank you, Diana, for sharing your experiences with us. We are running out of time. Last but not least, I would like to invite you guys for the virtual signature of Memorandum of Understanding between Kagi and Aidda in the witnessship of FCM President Marie-Christine Ogli. Please do the signature virtually. Yes, Eminanım, thank you. Maria, your turn.
Yes.
Yes. And can I ask the other panelists to turn off their cameras so we can see the signatures of the both.
Agli altri. Togliere la camera, fate vedere le firme di nuovo voi due. Così se gli altri tolgono si vedono di più le vostre.
Okay. Ornella, please do turn off your camera so we can take a picture of the signatures.
I would like present our honorary president, Etta Carignani, for greetings to Kagi, if you like.
Thank you.
Of
and I'm so proud and glad to sign this memorandum of understanding between us, Marie-Claudia. I know from my heart this collaboration will lead to new successes in our businesses. Thank you so much.
Maria, can we please see the signature again for the last picture? Yes, thank you. Thank you, ladies. We're getting so many nice comments. Yes, we got the picture finally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please do turn on your cameras so we can see you. Thank you all for coming and attending this webinar. I mean, we are receiving so many good comments, and we have about 100 participants who haven't left us, and from Germany, from France. They want to see webinars like this more, women entrepreneurs who have participated our webinar. I think this will bring many collaborations between Aidda and Kagi, Italian and Turkish women entrepreneurs. We're happy to host you today at as Dfds Mediterranean Business Unit. Thank you all, and I think we have you know, extended our time, and it's like 20 minutes. So I would like to close our meeting right here. Thank you. Stay safe. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Ciao.
Stay safe all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.
Bye.
Ciao.